Episode of the NJ show. We've got the CPI watch along today. What is going to happen with CPI? Is the market going to go up? Is the market going to go down? Honestly, I have no idea. But we are going to be watching the charts. Okay, we are going to be watching the charts. We are going to be watching Bitcoin either nuke to zero or we're going to be watching it go to the moon. I need you guys to tell me what you guys think. So make sure you're dropping me the comments in the comment section. Go to the comment section right now, drop me some comments, and let me know what your thoughts are going to be for CPI. We'll run a poll in sort of the next 20 to 30 minutes. But in the meantime, what I want you to do is drop the comments and let me know where you're tuning in from and whether or not you think today is going to be a bullish or bearish day. We've already had a bit of a dump in the market today, and it's been absolutely terrible. All right. The other thing I've got to tell you guys today is I've got a special guest on today who's going to run through CPI with us. He's going to be doing the educating today, and I'm going to be doing the watch along with you guys later on in the stream. Okay. So, you guys are going to learn what CPI is today, how it affects us on a daily basis, how it's potentially going to affect crypto. And if you're enjoying the content, please make sure you smash the likes, okay? Make sure you're smashing the likes. If you haven't subscribed, bottom right hand corner, it takes a second to subscribe to the show. Let's do a quick shout out to see who is here in the chat. We have got Nicholas Giroux, who is the first. We've got Stephen M. Gang, who says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great day besides the market." Lily's here for the copium. Luke is saying good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to you too, Luke. Mr. Napes has already made his decision. He's saying pump it. Everybody's saying pump it. Let's go. Let's go. Daniel is saying, hey, good morning to you too. Crypto Mac in the house. We've got Phil, the flying Frenchman. Would it be a stream without Phil? No, it wouldn't. Min, my brother from Vietnam. August, good to see you, mate. Thank you for joining the show. Twinsy, good to see you joining the show. Nick Fedora, we've got a name that I can't mention here, but appreciate you for joining the show. Malzate, good morning to you too, brother. Gaza says hi, everyone. We've got who else have we got in the chat here? We have got Tyro. Tyro says hello from France. Amazing. And we've got Luke from Netherlands. We've got Clio Finance. Thank you for joining the show. We've got Classic Cookie. We've got Anise. Thank you very much. Robert is joining from Indonesia. Amazing. Amazing to see how many people we've got in the NJ show. We've got Mattiu joining from Italy, saying he thinks the market's going to pump today. We've got Kalayan. Fantastic to see you, Kalayan. Thank you very much. We've got Eco. We've got Marta. Hey, Marta, it's good to see you. Vishnu saying happy to see you. I'm happy to see you again, mate. Thank you very much. KAR Crypto in the house. Appreciate you, my bro. We've got Svetzalav who says, pump it. We need to catch some longs and liquidate them in order to get lower. That's a good sort of opinion. Keep the comments coming in, everyone. Ali Furkan says, what's your thoughts for CPI? By the way, hello from Lithuania. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Nick is tuning in here from Canada. All right, look, I can't do any more shout outs, but I'm going to be bringing on Justin Murtaza Sats for a quick educational snippet of what CPI is, how it's going to affect us, how it might affect us today. So stay tuned and make sure you're listening because the fun will start in half an hour. But for now, let's do some learning. All right. So smash the likes, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the bell icon to be notified for when we go live at In It for the Text NJ show. And without further ado, I'm going to be bringing on now Murtaza Sats. Murtaza, my bro, how are you doing today?
All good here. How are things on your end? Big day ahead
Yeah,
today.
man. Yeah. CPI Mubarak to you, my friend. CPI Mubarak. Um, I have told these lovely people that today you've come on to educate us about CPI. Is that true, sir?
Well, I have been seeing a lot of posts on Twitter. Everyone wants to be a CPI expert, but this is not just a number which makes Bitcoin go up and down. I think everyone should know what it is and how it affects the market. So I was thinking like today I can come on stream with NJ and like do some education thing with you nowadays on YouTube.
Honestly, bro, thank you so much for doing that. So, guys in the chat, we have got a surprise guest on today, and that is Murtaza Sats. For those of you who don't know, Murtaza is the person, the backbone behind In It for the Tech, the person who makes it happen. Some of you guys might know him from the Telegram group. The Telegram group, the link is in the description below. It's the first link in the description. Make sure you're tuning into the Telegram group where Murtaza does a lot of his thinking on that group. And his thinking usually comes out right a lot of the time. So, Murtaza, I tell you what, I'm going to share your screen here and I'm going to let you take it away. In the meantime, everybody in the chat, show some love to Murtaza Sats, who's come here today to teach us about CPI. Murtaza, I'll let you go. I'll let you do your thing. Off you go.
Uh, Thanks, man. So we're going to start off with uh, a good definition of what CPI is. It stands for Consumer Price Index. It is a measure of average change over time in prices paid by urban consumer basket of consumer goods and services. In simpler terms, it is basically the money you need to survive a basic person, like how much money he needs for his food expenses, his travel expenses, and almost your energy bills. It counts for everything, and that's a CPI. Like, it's not just a number that makes Bitcoin go up or down. It actually states how much money do you need to survive in the market. And currently there has been a crazy amount of talk of CPI, and that is for a reason. Like, if you're looking at historic charts for CPI, we have like from 10 years ago, we have been ranging around 0 to 3 here. It's mostly between this. Bitcoin was actually invented for this kind of situations where if if CPI rate goes too high, Bitcoin is your inflation hedge. But as you can see, we had everything was okay until 2020, but things started to change in 2021. The inflation rate was obviously rising, but there's a point for everything. Like, there's a point where you cannot just keep on investing. Everything changes. Like, in this exact part, if you remember how crazy March 2021 was, like everything was just going up and up. But one more thing that went up in April 2021 was the CPI rate. It just doubled out of nowhere. I mean, it didn't happen out of nowhere, but it was Fed letting it happen. That was the main thing which made everything like go south for the inflation we have had over the time this last few months. It has been crazy for like crazy amount of time, and but it is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time we have had a crazy inflation rate going around. We can date it back to 1975. Well, where you can see the inflation rate actually went to 12.2%. Currently, we are at 9%. We actually peaked at 9%, and we have since then came down to 8.2%. But here you see it took Fed over 8 years to actually get it back to 2%. That's how crazy it is. Like, we were at 12%, we dropped a bit down, and then we again went up. This happens when you're actually in real interest rates as well and nominal interest rate. You can see that all the talk of FOMC meetings, and you see 50 bps rate hikes, 75 bps rate hikes. That's actually the nominal interest rate. Like, it is currently standing at 3.28%. That's the Fed funds rate. It's you can actually call it a federal fund rate, or you can call it nominal interest rate. That's the same thing. That's the amount at which you can get interest in banks right now. That's 3.28%. If we get another 75 bps rate hike, we are actually going to 4% in terms of nominal interest rate. And this real interest rate over here is actually the summation of nominal interest rate and inflation rate. It's actually minus 5% right now. It says that the nominal interest rate is 3.25 and inflation rate is 8.2%. If you actually cut 3 minus 8, that's 5%, and that's the real interest rate. And in 1975, the real interest rate was at 5%. If you can see that the real interest rate is 5% and right now it's minus 5% as well. So if you're imagining how things are going to be, this is how it were back then, and that how bad it could get. Like, you see inflation rate kept on increasing despite increase in nominal interest rate. So we cannot just think that if Fed will keep on raising interest rates, the inflation rate will go down just because of it. This is what happened the last time. it took them 8 years to actually get back to normal. And it's not a joke. It's actually very. EXO keeps on saying that we not really in a very good state right now, and this data shows that how bad it could get. The real interest rate, the nominal interest rate, everything that matters. Now, if you're wondering what is nominal interest rate and what is real interest rate, here's an example I actually wrote down. For an example, just thinking it out loud, that nominal interest rate is currently 10% and inflation rate is 5%. So if you're lending someone $100 at 10% nominal interest rate, it's obvious that you're getting $110 back after a year, right? But since the inflation rate right now is 5%, you actually lose 5% of your purchasing power, meaning your $100 after a year are going to be worth $95 only. So since you're getting 10%, $10 in extra interest of your $100, that's $10. So you're getting $105 in purchasing power back, meaning your real interest rate here is 5% and not 10%. As you can see here, currently the inflation rate is 3%, 3.25%, and inflation rate is 8.25%. That actually coincides with the current example, that if you will lend anyone $100, so you're actually not really getting the same amount of interest rate back. Now just thinking about, like, what if inflation rate is higher than nominal rate, like right now you can see inflation rate is higher than the rate, and this is how it is. There's a 5% difference. If you lend someone $100 at 5% interest rate, you get 105 back after a year, obviously. But as opposed to previous example, currently you lose 10% of your purchasing power. So your $100 now go down to $90, and with X, meaning you actually lost 5% by just giving out money. You're not getting anything. You're actually losing money, lending money right now. That's the case right now. Right here, if you're lending someone $100 at 3.25% rate, you and the inflation rate is obviously 8.25%, you're actually losing 5% of your money. That's how bad it is. That's how messed up the market is right now. And this is exactly why I'm worrying about inflation rate so much. That it was in 1975 when there was a 17% gap between inflation rate and the real interest rate. And as you can see right now, the gap is of similar kind. It's over 10%, and we are not really doing as much well as we would have if Fed kept no, like if they were more insistent on how inflation could get out of control. They were not able to, like, take care of it basically, and we are the ones who are going to suffer because of it. As the inflation rate keeps on going up, we need nominal interest rate to go up as well, just so people could get some money by lending. If you're not doing that, you're not going to, like, get the markets in stability. The stability basically goes if this keeps on going and interest rate keeps on going. You just need to find a more stable scenario for markets to run, as it was back in like when we actually peaked to 14%, 15%. It took them until 1986 to get inflation under control, and we need that kind of thing to happen again. And it's not going to be happening in a year, or you cannot just think that the current inflation rate is 8% and in 6 months we're going to be at 2%. It's not that easy. It's not going to be that easy, because market needs to react to the changes Federal Reserve is going to have. And that's what CPI is.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you very, very, very much for that, Murtaza. So, you know what? I've got a few questions, and I've got one or two questions that I want to ask you. Number one, a lot of people in the chat are asking as well, what do you think in terms of a percentage we're looking to see here for this release? Hello? Murtaza, are you there?
Then yeah, sorry, did I cut off?
Yeah, you cut out for a second there. You're back. We've got you back now. We've got
so,
you back. So what do
so
you think then, in terms of a percentage, what do you think we're looking at?
So the previous rate of CPI was around 8.3%. The current forecast from almost every bank right now stands at 8% or 8.1%. 8.1% being the general consensus for the inflation rate coming this in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yep.
So if we actually get 8.1%, I don't think the market is going to move much. We're going to see like a stable market, and everyone's just bored right now. We actually had 18,600. I think we just range as we have been, and volatility will, we won't see it basically. That's just what I think. If it's even if it's 8.2%, I think people are going to sell anyway, and we are going to see a much bigger drop down in prices. And just in case if you're getting something like 7.9% or 8%, I think we're going to get a short squeeze and then we go down again, basically because yesterday we had PPI coming in, the producer price index, and it was actually positive after a couple months, which is supposed to be negative the last couple months, and now it was positive. and and the unemployment rate has been going down as well. So you are getting more jobs, people are getting more jobs, they are ready to pay, and inflation will keep on rising as long as that subsides. So we get a short squeeze, and I think market knows that the next rate hike is going to be 75 bps no matter what happens, no matter how CPI is, unless obviously CPI goes down to like 7.5%, then I think the rate hike is going to be more contained. But seeing PPI numbers and in unemployment rate and everything, and how Fed has been so much into tightening things, even yesterday I read that in FOMC minutes that they are insistent on hiking rates. So in my personal opinion, I think we get another 75 bps rate hike coming our way, and that is going to cause another sell off. But that's just 5 days before midterms as well. So I think it could be a chance for us to scoop lower prices and see a better market in November. But as for now, these are just probabilities, and everything depends on data and how it's going to go.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. I mean, I saw a lot of data that was circulating, rumors pretty much circulating around that the Fed will be looking to increase, the basis points by up to another 500 over the course of 2023. Now, in a way, considering that we are crypto people, we're crypto finance as opposed to traditional finance, really, um, you know, consistent increases of basis points, no, it won't be great for crypto. But at the same time, we know that the market cycles operate in the way that they operate. We have a year of bull market, a year of bear market, we have a year of accumulation. So, the more that these guys are going to continue to up these basis points, the less volatility we're going to see in crypto, the closer we'll get to a bottom, in my opinion, personally. And, for you, say, for instance, we went to, I don't know, let's say, as an example, hypothetically speaking, we went to 10K on Bitcoin. Would that be something that you'd be looking to buy, or would it be something that you'd be looking to stay away from?
See, in terms of numbers, as I told you, it's not just one thing. It's not just Bitcoin we are looking at. We are looking at SPX as well. Bitcoin has never been through any such cycle where inflation rate just goes berserk. Like in 1970s, there was no Bitcoin. So what I personally think people are doing right now is they're just mirroring SPX, because SPX was there back in 1970s, and how it reacted to the inflation rate and the tightening from Federal Reserve back then. So I don't think it depends on one factor where we can actually go in and buy most of these coins. It depends on how XPX is, how inflation rate is, how interest rates are going up and down, and how much Fed are, like how much insistent they are on rating hiking rates. So I think it's not just one thing. There are a lot of factors coming in, and I think it's going to be more spontaneous this time, especially because crypto was not there. This is the first time crypto is experiencing any of these things. So I think
Yeah.
personally we should look more at fiat, we should look more at DXY. How it
Hmm.
performs is going to reflect in SPX and in Bitcoin. And if you're hitting the right levels, if everything, I think we will have a more clear indication of how and when we should buy this time around, as opposed to previous time, because now we are getting more educated, we're getting more into Wall Street, they are coming in and they are mirroring SPX. So you just need to watch out for the XPX levels, the XY levels, and if the right string hits, we go in.
Murtaza, amazing, amazing. I just want to say thank you so much for coming onto the NJ show and sharing your thoughts about CPI, what CPI is, educating these lovely people in the chat as to what CPI is and what it does. And, one question, excuse me, one second. One question that I always ask guests that come on the NJ show is, will you be back on the NJ show?
I think time will tell. I'd love to
Time
be
will
back,
tell.
honestly. I'd
Time
love
will
to be
tell.
back
Yeah,
and,
we'd love to
talk
have you.
more
So
things.
everybody in the chat, we're going to continue with the watch along in just a moment. But what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to smash up the comment section and let Murtaza know how grateful we all are that he came onto the show today to discuss CPI and more of the intricate components of CPI and how they sort of affect us in a day to day. All right. So smash up those comments, let them know, and also give us a like spike. We like to get to 100 likes for every sort of episode. Murtaza, let these guys know to give us a like spike before you jump off, my brother.
Dude, we need 100 likes. And just working really hard for this. You need to show him love.
Thank you very much, my bro. My bro, thank you so much for joining the chat. We'll have you on again at some point very, very soon. Take care of yourself, all right? And stay safe out there.
Thanks for having me. CPI Mubarak to everyone. Have a good CPI.
CPI Mubarak to everybody. All right. Cheers, my brother. Cheers. Well, there you have it. There you have it. CPI. Really nice from Murtaza to join us and explain to us what CPI is. But now we must move on. We must talk about CPI in the ways that we want to talk about it. The question I've got for you guys is bullish or bearish? All right. So I'm going to share my screen now. Let's do it like this. And we're going to look at these charts and we're going to see, are we going to nuke to zero or are we going to the moon? I have no idea what's going to happen. The market is absolutely chopping. Um, Also, let me know. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a poll up because I want to know what you guys think. Bear with me. I'm going to put a poll up and I want you guys to tell me, are we bullish today or are we bearish today? All right. I'm going to need you guys to let me know. Are we CPI data bullish or bearish? CPI data versus Bitcoin. Okay. All right. The poll is live. So get your votes in. Get your votes in. If you go to the chat, get your votes in. I've not put a neutral option there. You've got to make a decision. You've got to choose. Are you bullish or bearish? I'm the host of the show, so I'm going with neutral because I get to go neutral. But JMO here is saying he's crabbish. I'm seeing a lot of comments here. David is saying bull. Um, Frank is saying chop. Twinsy saying hold your breath, guys. Hold your breath. Appreciate all of you for joining the show. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. I want to see what the votes in. I want to see what you guys think. Okay. I want to see what you guys think. It's a very, very even poll at the moment. A lot of you are tuning in and a lot of you are voting. Make sure you get your votes in the live chat. Check the live chat and see what is going to happen. Now, from a price perspective, I'm not going to lie, Bitcoin doesn't really look that good to me. It doesn't at all. And the dollar, even the dollar, what's weird is we've got Bitcoin on the left side, we've got the dollar on the right side, and they kind of look the same. They both look dumpy, which is kind of weird. It's not something that we usually see very often, is it? But we'll see. We'll see what it does. I want to see what you guys are doing. Are you guys long? Are you guys short? Are you guys playing it safe and not trading the market? I'm seeing a lot of your comments coming in. I'm going to be looking at them. We'll do a short Q&A after as well. The data print is in 5 minutes. So let's bring up our trusted Forex factory and let's get the data ready. Okay, somebody can let us know in the chat as well. Somebody can let us know in the chat as well while I have the charts up. Also, guys, let me know while you guys are getting your votes in. Let me know. We've got Bitcoin in the top left corner. We've got the dollar on the top right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner, we've got the S&P. What should we have in the fourth left corner? Should we have oil? Should we have pound or something like that? I don't know. What should we have? You guys let me know. JMO is making an option already. He's saying 6.9%, calling it now. All right, JMO. All right. Somebody's rolling the dice there. Matiu is saying long with a stop loss set, eyes closed. Matiu is serious. Matiu is on it. Okay, so we've got GBP, we've got PYR, JPY, we've got pound, ETH, ruble. The ruble, that would be an interesting one. XRP. Come on, guys, let me know. Bring the chats in. Get the chats in and let me know what should we have up on our screen for the fourth corner. We've got Ethereum at the moment. I don't mind leaving Ethereum up here, but I want you guys to let me know. We've got euro dollar coming in. Bought ETH spot at 12.25. BTC spot at 18,600, says Twinsy. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Who's going to share the data first? As always, guys, make sure you are smashing up the likes. Make sure we are 22 likes away from 100 likes. So make that happen. Jump in and make that happen. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then what are you doing? You should be subscribed to the channel. You should be commenting. Get your opinions in the chat. I can see all of it. During these watch alongs, it's a lot more engaging. It's a lot more fun to be with you guys. I'm seeing some VIX. VIX. Should we have the VIX? What do you guys think? Should we put the VIX up? We've got 4 minutes. We've got to make a decision. What do you guys think we should have up? VIX. All right. We'll do the VIX. We'll bring up the VIX. Oh, that's not the right one. Which is the best one for VIX? CBOE volatility capital. Let's put capital.com. No, even, yeah, because it's the 1 minute, isn't it? We're going to need to put the VIX on the 4 hour or something like that. There we go. We're not really going to be maybe 1 hour. Okay, 30 minute. 15 minute. Okay, so it looks like volatility, according to this, volatility is dying off, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. I'll zoom into the VIX a little bit for everybody. Okay, so what we're looking at the moment, we're looking at Bitcoin on the top left. We've got on the top right, we've got the dollar. Bottom left, we've got the VIX, the volatility index for the S&P, and on the bottom right, we've got the S&P 500. So let's have a look at our trusted poll. We've got 97 votes in. I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute to vote, and then I'm going to close off the poll to see what the results are. Okay, so we've got 97 votes. Jump into the live chat and make sure you get your vote in. Okay, make sure you get your vote in. And we are 15 likes away from 100 as well. We're doing good. We're doing pretty good today, NJ community. We're doing good. We're doing good. What is going to happen? I find it quite peculiar that that Bitcoin is going down, but also at the same time, the dollar is going down too. That's not something that we see every day. And weirdly, if you notice as well, the S&P is going higher, but the dollar and Bitcoin are both pushing lower. That's not something we see very often, That's not something we see very often. And also, that was the S&P looks like it's flagging for further upside. I don't know. Can you guys see? The S&P is looking pretty strong. The volatility index for the S&P is shooting to the downside. Goodness gracious, that's going, isn't it? That's going. But surely if the S&P, oh, look at the S&P go blood clot. There we go. Bitcoin starting to follow suit. All right, let's close off the poll. So after 119 votes, what do we have here? 100. I'm gonna close this poll off. So do this and poll, and then we'll go back here like this. Okay, cool. So the results are in, and 53% of you are bullish. 46% of you are bearish. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. A very sort of sideways neutral type of poll that we've got today. Now, I find it so odd that the S&P is pushing like this. Well, obviously we're tracing pretty quickly, but the S&P is going and it wants to drag up our friend Bitcoin with it. But Bitcoin, Bitcoin isn't following as much as we'd like it to follow. There we go. There we go. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, G. That must have been. That must. Oh my god. Oh, look at the S&P blood clot. No, oh my god. Look at the guys. Guys, look at the volatility index right now. Good. Oh my god. Oh my. Look at the dollar. Look at the cheese, Louise. Oh my. That is the biggest scam I've ever seen in my entire life. No cap. No cap. That is worse than an altcoin. That is worse than an altcoin. That is insane. That is insane. Look at the dollar. Everything is wicked and chilling, but the dollar just wants to push. Oh my god. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure let me know. Let me know in the chat right now. How is this making you feel? Are you guys long? Are you guys short? Tell me the truth. Don't lie. Don't tell no fibs. Don't come on the NJ show and tell fibs. Who's long right now? Who's long? Because whew, some of my long-term bags are not looking good, bruv. It is not looking good. KAR Crypto's coming in with the news here. Thank you, KAR Crypto. Appreciate you, mate. Says 8.2%. 8.2%. So for those of you who don't know what the CPI results are, 8.2%. And we have just hit 100 likes. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate all of you making it happen. We have hit over 100 likes. What a great community that we've got here on the NJ show. And a massive shout out to KAR Crypto for bringing up the news. 8.2% is the data print. Let's have a refresh here to make sure. The forecast was 8.1% and the previous was 8.3%. And it's coming at 8.2. So it's come out more than what they anticipated. And thus the market is really, really responding. I mean, oh my, Dixie's leaving. Dixie's leaving. The dollar's leaving. Look at this. I'm having to zoom out because of what it's doing. This is insane. This is actually insane. Let me see what some of you guys are saying here in the chat. JMO is chilling. He's cool. KAR is short. So KAR is loving it right now. You must be swimming in profit, my brother. Luke is just laughing. Luke is having fun. Alt Hayes is saying he's wrecked. Well, you know what? We get back up. We try again. Look at the dollar. Look at the volatility index on the S&P. Cheese. Jerry saying great show today. I appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you for saying that. Obviously, if you guys are new here, do consider subscribing to the channel. We go live most days in the week. We do go live most days in a week. We do cover a lot more news and a lot more education, a lot more events on the channel. But during the watch alongs, we like to let the market unfold right in front of us. Okay. It's a difficult sort of place to trade. It's not something that's good to trade. You should be looking at it, watching it for educational purposes. You'd be looking to trade areas that are not as volatile as this, because think about how many people got liquidated on these type of candles. This candle here, if you were short, you done great, but a lot of people got liquidated. I promise you, I've seen it way too many times. Mike is saying he's flat. The last stand is saying short. He was short. Goodness. We've got Mwiti here saying it's not looking good, NJ. No, it's not looking good at all. It's not looking good at all. Whew. Absolutely insane market data. Insane. And I tell you what, I bet this is not done yet. I bet this is not done. Yeah, big shout out to KAR Crypto. He did good today. Fatih says, sorry I'm late. Hey, brother, sorry I'm late today. No worries, man. You're never late to the NJ show. You are never, ever late to the NJ show. Today's a watch along anyway. We're watching the CPI charts. For those of you who are entering the chat now, for those of you who are joining the show, what we're doing is we're looking at a few charts throughout the CPI data print. The data print came out at 8.2%, for those of you who don't know. And we've got Bitcoin on the top left corner. We've got the dollar on the top right corner. Bottom left corner, we've got the VIX, the volatility index for the SPX, and we have the SPX in the bottom right hand corner. So, it's really, really not looking good. It really isn't. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're getting there. We're getting to that final stages now where we're going to finally and hopefully start looking for a bottom in Bitcoin. All right, we're looking to find a bottom for Bitcoin as the time goes on. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, so ADA and Sol, Solana. I mean, Solana's going to be mashed up. I got stopped out on a Solana long not that long ago. Oh my goodness, Solana. Oh my goodness. Solana doing 10% on 1 minute candles. Solana doing 10% on 1 minute candles. What's ADA doing? What's ADA doing? ADA is also doing 10% candles on the 1 minute time frame. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Svetslav says, do you think alts will bleed to new Yeah, I definitely do. Over the next 9 to 12 months, yes, I 100% do. I do think that next year we will have a bear market rally. I do think so. Markets go up and down all the time. If you go back to 2019 for Bitcoin, you'll see what Bitcoin did in 2019. I'm expecting something along those lines in 2023. Obviously, we'll tackle it once we see it, but I am expecting Bitcoin to do something like that in 2023. Yes, I am. And I do think that once alts have bottomed, a lot of them aren't going to survive. You know, I think there was 12,000 altcoins or something like that. And I know that a lot of them aren't going to survive. It's very, very similar to the 2018 bear market that we had. You know, the 2018 bear market that we had, there were so many altcoins that we thought were going to live and was going to change the course of crypto forever, but they died. They died. They became dinosaur coins, and you know, they didn't do well. So I'm expecting very, very similar approaches to this bear market as well. The bear market, the downtrend, I think that we're almost over on the downtrend. Maybe we have a bit lower to go to in terms of Bitcoin. Maybe we'll see 12K, maybe we'll see 14, maybe it might be 10K, it might be even further, but it remains to be seen. All right. The point I'm making is we are approaching a low. The more that this can happen, the closer we get to the next bull market. So for me personally, I'm happy. I'm broke, but I'm happy. Accumulation periods are the time when you're broke and happy. I'm telling you, people are going to think you're crazy for waiting for this next bull market. Until the next bull market comes, then suddenly you're the expert. You're the one that called it. Help me. I want to be your friend now. I want to be your sibling. So you know, I do think alts are going to get worse over the course of 2023. I do think that they will. I think a lot of them won't come back. Obviously, if we go back a year ago, how many people would have thought that Luna would have rugged? You know, how many people would have thought that? And lo and behold, Luna isn't here anymore. It was supposed to be financial freedom for crypto, and it wasn't, right? It rugged. So it's the same thing going into the next bull market. In the next bull market, we're going to have a lot of new shiny toys. All right. There's going to be new 100Xs. The market is going to be filled with so many new altcoin projects. All right. To give you some context, I think 2017, by the end of 2017, we had, I think, roughly around 2,000 crypto projects overall. And by the end of 2022, well, where we are right now, by the end of 2021, even, we had roughly around 12,000 different altcoin projects. So, what I'm thinking is, you know, going into the next cycle, I think that we're going to have more participants coming into the market. I think we're going to have more money coming into the market. The next bull market will have incredible saturation. Okay. Fundamental analysis will never be more important as it will be in the next market, just because there's going to be so many altcoins, so many of them. All right. Many will do 100x, in my opinion. Many will go on to do even bigger multipliers. And we are going to try our best to catch them. But there is going to be huge saturation. Now, it looks to me like we might be retracing here. I mean, Cardano has retraced a massive amount of the move. Cardano is pretty much where it exactly was, I think, 10 minutes ago. So 10 minutes ago, before the CPI data came out, Cardano did the pump and dump, and now it's back to exactly where it was. So you see what I mean? Look, a lot of people, for the 1 minute time frame, people, they would have put their stop at this low here. They've been stopped out now, and now price is exactly where it was. For those who are shorting it, scalp shorting it, they would have got stopped out here. Anyone who put their stop loss here would have got stopped out. That's what this type of data print does. It's absolutely insane. Now the S&P looks like it wants to go down even further, which will probably take Bitcoin with it. If we go back on the 1 minute here for Bitcoin, the dollar, absolutely incredible strength on the dollar. Absolutely incredible strength on the dollar. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. We have got 117 likes, by the way. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody in the chat. We like to get to 100 likes before the sort of end of the stream. And you guys have done that today. Really, really appreciate every single one of you here. Really, really, really good. Really good. Feel free to bring in some questions as we continue to look into the market. Zoom out on the S&P. Yeah, all right, cool. We can go on to the 15-minute if you want. Oh my goodness, that looks absolutely horrendous. I mean, I think it looks worse on the 1 minute chart, to be honest. Meg is saying NASDAQ down on the open. Well, yeah, probably. Look, listen, honestly, if the ES is dumping like this, I do not for a second expect the NASDAQ to open on a high unless it opens with a gap up and then nukes down, you know? Um, keep the comments coming in, Ledgers. Let me know if you guys have got any questions. Feel free to ask questions. And do remember to subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Takes a second to do. And get your comments in, get your opinions in, get your questions in. Absolutely phenomenal. The crazy thing about ES is it doesn't look like it's bouncing. And in terms of the dollar looks like it wants to go even higher. If we zoom out a little bit, oh my god, look what happens when we zoom out of the dollar. How insane is that? You know, when you're in a bull market, right? When you're in a bull market, price does this. This is what it looks like in a bull market. And I'm telling you, the sun will shine on Bitcoin again one day. But at the moment, all eyes on the dollar. The dollar is in the biggest bull market it's ever had. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Orange Man, thank you very much for your comment there, Orange Man. Orange Man looks at the NASDAQ for us and he says NQ1 is down 3% at the moment. That's huge. That's huge. 3%. Thank you for that, Orange Man. Really, really appreciate you. Lamb says next month is FOMC. Yep. Next month is FOMC. We'll be covering that. We'll make sure we cover that on the NJ show. We'll be making sure to maybe we'll come an hour. We'll start an hour before the actual FOMC press conference, and we'll discuss FOMC. We'll discuss what our thoughts are and whatnot here on In It for the Tech, and we'll watch that live as well. I'm expecting it to be the same sort of cataclysm as today's price action. I mean, PPI yesterday was pretty much a non-event if you think about it. But you know, as we discussed yesterday, PPI is the producer price index. That's more towards the manufacturing side. CPI is the consumer. That's me and you, right? So naturally, the market would respond in the way it's done. But this is absolutely incredible. I wonder what Matic is looking like. I wonder what Matic is looking like. Matic, man. You won't believe this, guys. You won't believe this, but I actually shorted Matic. I shorted Matic at 85 cents. I shorted it. And you know what I did? I cut that short for 1R. It was a 5 point something R trade. I cut the short for 1R, and because I thought the market was going to start giving us a push back up, and it just didn't let me back in. Any orders that I tried to fill, it wouldn't let me back in, and it just nuked. It went off without me. It's okay because that's trading, right? Trading is like that, but it's just sometimes it's just a little bit annoying, you know, when you've got the trade right, you've got the setup right, you've got the entry perfect. You know, I completely got filled at 85 cents. And look at it today. It dropped to 71 cents for Matic. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What have we got here? So Kalian is saying for the SPX 3400 is coming. August is saying Darth Maul candles. Sagan is saying the New York Open might be brutal. Yeah, the New York Open is in 45 minutes. I think it is going to. At the same time, we've got a big daily range now. Like if we look at the S&P, which is looking like it's rugged, if we look at the daily for the S&P, we've got a pretty big daily range. Are we really breaking out here? We're still at support, we're still at support for the S&P. So maybe the range, maybe the low of the day could be printed in early on in the New York session. We'll see. It's the same thing for the dollar. If you think about it, the dollar has a massive daily range now. Look at this, man. The dollar's even opening. It's even opening green. That's absolutely insane. Goodness gracious. What else have we got here? Stress-free income says, hot damn, this Dixie looks sick, bro. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Phenomenal price action today. Phenomenal price action. There's just no point doing technical analysis on this. This is event-driven data, right? So this price is responding to the data that was released into the market today. It could completely retrace, it's like the COVID crash. When you're charting, when you're doing your technical analysis, you can't really use the COVID crash as anything more than event-driven data, and that's how it is today as well. It's all event-driven, you know. Um, MWO says Bitcoin is kind of rather holding up well, similar to July CPI. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that Bitcoin tanked $1,000, and considering we're at such bad lows already, I think it is a bit of a dump, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's relative. It's relatively holding, I guess. It relatively is. Ashura says, I'm sitting in cash for the last 12 months. Just give me a match 2020 crash when people keep panicking and I'm the one buying. You know what, Ashura? That's fantastic. I'm super happy for you, mate. You're going to be rich basically at some stage of your life if you're not already. Make sure you stick around for that then, because I don't think we're going to get a massive flash crash. I do think that it's becoming more likely that we could get one, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not like COVID. I think we'll find a low, we'll set a base. I think a lot of people will be looking for much further downside, and they're not going to get it. I think it's just going to range in a tight range for a long time, and maybe 4 months or something like that. And just when people think it's time to short, that's when the exit of the bear market will happen. For those of you who haven't seen my market cycles review, you should definitely go to the educational playlist and have a look at the market cycle review, because there is where I discuss the natural market cycles that we go through. We go through a bull market, a bear market, and an accumulation phase. All right. Now we're approaching what I think is that accumulation phase. I do think that we've got one leg left to go down on Bitcoin, right? And the overall market before we get to that stage where we can start talking about accumulation. But I do think that we've got some time before the next bull market, okay? The biggest catalyst that we've got for the next bull market is the Bitcoin halving, okay? And that should sort of hit during 2024 is when I expect it to be looking to hit. So 2024 March, I believe, all right? So that is where I'd be looking at for the Bitcoin halving. Now, honestly, I'm not worried at all about any of this. I really am not. I've seen Bitcoin do this 2 times in the past. I've seen it do it. I've seen it do it in 2018. I've seen it do it in 2020. It's no different to 2022. I do think that we're going to get some sort of relief, maybe sort of end of this year, if not next year. Maybe, I think it was. Hold on a second. Where did we dump? I know it was a December that we dumped. So September. This was March. When did we originally? Yeah, look at this, guys. Look at this. So you see on the top left corner here, this is the Bitcoin chart. Where we started dumping was November 2018. Okay. So we did all of this stuff here, all these lower highs that we had here going into November, December 2018. And then it was December that we really had, November, sorry, mid-November that we had the massive sell-off. And then December, we sort of just accumulated and ranged all the way up until April. And April was where we broke out to the upside and started pushing for what looked at the time to be all-time highs, but it was just a bear market rally in the end. And then we had the COVID spike, which in hindsight here looks like a retest of this consolidation here. And then we had the bull market. And now, if you look at the price action now for Bitcoin, you'll kind of notice the same thing. You know, we've got highs, we've got lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and now we're tightening up and maybe one more lower high, and then we'll get that final sell-off that we're finally looking for, and that should be the final low printed in for Bitcoin, depending on how long we accumulate and how long we range there. All right, you've got to remember, right? If you're playing Bitcoin for longer term potentials or longer term gains, right? Then you know you've got to remember, like, in the past Bitcoin has made highs and in the past it's made lows. So if you look at the higher time frame, if you look at the daily, the 3-day chart or whatever, even the weekly for Bitcoin, go back to where the previous bottoms were and look to see, what does a macro bottom look like? What does a bottom look like on the weekly time frame or the monthly time frame or the even the 3 daily time frame? What does it look like? And then compare it to what we have now. If you compare it to what we have right now, then you can see here, this doesn't look like a macro bottom. It doesn't look any, we haven't had that sideways price action yet. It looks like we're now breaking down to new lows. So what we really need for Bitcoin is we need that sideways price action. Look how it went sideways here for months. Look how it went sideways here for months, before we get that breakout that we're looking for. But definitely check out my market cycles review if you haven't already. That's something that I would strongly, strongly suggest. Cleo says check out the 10-year. All right, let's have a look at the US 10-year. Wow. Wow. This thing. Oh man. Tell me about bull market without telling me about bull market. Look at this monster. Oh man, this is nuts. And how long did it consolidate for? We were talking about macro bottoms just now, right? How many weeks did it take before we broke market structure? Here is the break in market structure, okay? So we had from March all the way to January. It took nearly the better part of a year. It took 9 months. That's what a macro bottom looks like. 9 months before we get the pop breakout, and then we break out, retest, and then off we go. All right. Same thing for Bitcoin. Really and truly, same thing for Bitcoin. We from where we are now, we want this thing to capitulate. We want this thing to tank. Once it tanks, we want it to settle. If bearish news comes out, we don't want it to tank the price of Bitcoin further. We want it to just settle. And also, if majorly bullish news comes out, we don't want it to pump like crazy either. We want it to just stay settled. And when the market is ready, the market will let us know. I promise you that. I promise you that. You know, make sure you guys are smashing up the likes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I think I'll stay on for a few more minutes if you guys don't have any questions, and then I'm going to shoot. Okay, a fantastic episode. It was really nice having Murtaza on. What do you guys think of Murtaza? What do you guys think of him? Let me know in the chat what you guys think. How do you think he did today? I think he did fantastic, to be honest, me personally speaking. I think his information was good. CPI is a subject that not many people like to study, and it's a subject that affects us on our day to day. Not really many people know about it, even in finance, which is quite shocking. So having him here today talking about it was really good. It was really good. What's JBE here saying? JBE is saying, yeah, NJ, here for the 4th time, and I really enjoy it. Nice community, and a big shout out how you handle the show. Very friendly and respectful to everyone. Well, thank you very much, JBE. That's the kind of comment that I want to hear. That's amazing. Thank you very much, my friend. You have made my day. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys are checking the links in the description below as well. The Telegram group is somewhere that you definitely want to join. I let you guys know when I'm going live. We have charts. I do my voice notes in there as well. I keep in touch with you guys on the Telegram group the same way that I keep in touch with you guys on the show as well. You know. Jeremy saying that he got stopped out of his sushi long at break even and now he's feeling indecisive. Well, Jeremy, I'll tell you what, the best thing to do when you're feeling like that is to take a step back, go play some FIFA. Go play some FIFA, you know? Go play some FIFA. That's what I'd say if you've got FIFA 23. Mix Shikamaru. Shikamaru sensei. When will you start giving us small cap gems, bro? That's a great question. That's a great question. So when will I start giving you guys altcoins and chart requests? I'm going to do that when the market starts telling me to do that. Okay? If I start shilling low caps now, I'm going to get called out as a scammer when the market does absolutely nothing. If I start shilling low caps when Bitcoin bottoms out at 10K, I'm going to get called a scammer and I'm going to get nothing for it. The market won't do anything. If we start breaking out of accumulation over the course of the next 9 to 12 months, right? And the market is showing us signs of bullishness, that's when I'm going to start talking about altcoins. And that's when we're going to be talking about altcoins pretty much every single day. So, if you want to know more about altcoins, especially when the timing is right, because timing is everything in crypto. It literally is everything in crypto. You've got to be there at the right time with the right level of research, with the right level of knowledge. And that's when you'll be able to smash altcoins. So that's when I'm going to be doing that. But obviously, you've got to be subscribed in order to be part of that community, to be part of that movement. So I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. I just hope that you're going to be there when I do it. All right. Joe says NJ top G. Mix Mall says is solid buy at $28. Well, Solana, it could be. It could be. I'm not saying it won't be, but it would only be very, very short term. I would not be looking to trade this thing very high. In fact, it kind of looks like we're starting to break down, even though we're at support. It's difficult to say. If I was to trade it, I would have to trade it on the lower time frames, and it would have the targets would have to be very, very short term. I wouldn't be able to look at Solana and tell you buy this for the next couple of weeks. It's not going to work out. It's going to be bad. All right. But anyway, Cleo says another great stream, NJ. Loving joining the stream as always. Looking forward for the next one. I appreciate you, Cleo. Thank you very much for your lovely, lovely comments. Appreciate you. And KAR Crypto is saying Solana maybe at $26 is a decent long opportunity. Well, that's the thing. Even then, I'd still be looking at short term. Everything would have to be short term. So, if we're looking here, where do we really have support? Probably somewhere around here. Maybe this low here. This low here comes in at around $25, $26. And then we've got this key swing low right here, which sent the market up, which is at $23. So I'm not sure how low this thing can go. We've got natural targets here for those who are already in shorts at the moment. We've got 26 and 23. Where it will bounce, I'm not sure where it will bounce. But Phil the Frying Frenchman says it perfectly here. He says, I would wait for the New York Open. And to be honest, that might be a sensible thing to do. But anyway, that's it from me today. That's your CPI watch along. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the NJ Show. Something a bit more informative. We'll do some charts as well. I know we're missing out charts a little bit on the show. We'll do some proper breakdowns. Maybe I'll clean up my charts and we'll do a fresh breakdown of everything that's going on. All right. And we'll do that tomorrow. All right, lads and ladies and everything else in between. Cheers for joining the show. Really appreciate you guys. Please make sure you do like and subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, we like to get 100 likes on the video, but maybe we can get 200. Who knows? Smash up the likes. 150 might be doable. All right. And make sure you guys click on the links in the description below. All right. Check out the links. It does go a long way. It does support the channel when you do check out those links. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for joining the show. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the NJ Show. Cheers, everyone. Bye.